And I'm getting mighty tired of your trifling ways and of listening to that jackass brain.
Well, here we go, new setup. So basically I did a quick introduction video about what I'm about to do. Hopefully this works. I am moving all my operations and everything I do from an office to my home. I decided to go completely mobile. So throughout the next few videos that I do, I'm going to be shooting strictly on a mobile device. Pretty much everything that I have, I wanted to go with this idea of inexpensive and mobile or mobility. We live in a world where smartphones are getting better and better with their camera technology. Everything from autofocus to wide angle lenses, even to their microphones, are getting extremely good. But I also wanted to have a way that I could do vlogs, I could do videos. I go to a lot of car shows, I'm a car guy. I go to a lot of events and things like that. So I really wanted a way that I could record on the go. Now I still have a DSLR and I have great lenses and things like that. I do have studio lighting, I've got a decent computer, but everything that I have is pretty much spent on a budget. If you are that budget conscious vlogger, YouTuber, action photography video person, I hope that I can help. And I know a lot of people that are looking for that setup. You don't want to have a YouTube channel, you're not invested in that being your job or your career, but you want to have that as kind of a hobby. And that's okay, I encourage that. I think more people should encourage that. So for me, this is a video for the people. And it got me thinking what all the reviewers were saying. And a lot of them were saying the same thing. I was getting a few good camera reviews and I was getting a few details, but I had to sift through a lot of videos. I couldn't find the phone or the device or the questions that I had to be answered. Today's video we're going to try shooting, and it is my video review of the iPhone. There's lots of video reviews out there about specs of this phone, how it does on benchmarks, the camera quality. This is the iPhone XR, or as a lot of people have called it, the XR. I want to be the guy that gives you the answers that no one else is giving you. What I'm going to give you is, over a little cup of coffee, the real video review on the iPhone. My history with being an iPhone user: 4, 4S, 5, 5S, 6, 6S. Get it? 6 years of using an iPhone. And I was a previous Blackberry user before that. That iPhone 4 was so good. The form factor was good. It was glass on the front and back with the aluminum trim. It's really nice. And I enjoyed using an iPhone. What made me change? In walks the iPhone 6S. It was my first ever time to go to the Apple store and actually purchase. Let's go forward here to this 6S Plus that I had. I didn't have just any 6S Plus. I had the fully spec'd out, most storage you could get, white on gold, just the best, newest thing that they had. Within about 3 months, I started noticing that some of the pixels on the phone were not working. So I take the phone in. They told me that they were just going to give me a new phone to hang on to that phone. When the new phone got in, they'd come in. No waiting, they'd swap it out for me, do everything for me, done. So I did that once. About 3 months later, I've had my second phone now for 3 months. I've been doing the 6S Plus for 6 months. I started having these problems where my apps are disconnecting from Wi-Fi, and they're saying no internet service. Apps were crashing. I couldn't log into certain apps. Go to the Apple store and say, thinking it's user error. Did I do something wrong? Was there something in an update that I need to turn something off? No, it's very strange. Let's do a reset. So they back all my stuff up, reset it, make sure I don't lose anything. We're all good to go. 2 days later, I start noticing that I have what looks like Bengate, but on the screen. It basically had a line across the middle. So they look at the phone and they go, oh, it looks like you have damaged your phone. So they check it out, see if there's any damage. There's not. They will replace it for free, no problems. So this is now my third phone that I've had in 6 months. All of a sudden the phone starts just becoming very erratic. It's freezing, It's not letting me swipe. It's not reading my fingerprint. I have to reset it about once a week to make the phone work. And I just get extremely frustrated within the 7-month period. I don't take it back to Apple. I take it to the Verizon store. The Verizon store then proceeds to tell me that the ID number on the phone shows that this phone is a remanufactured phone. They told me that they would swap it out for a brand new in-the-box phone. So I take my 6S Plus back after making an appointment, going in, meeting with a rep, sitting down, someone comes up to greet me, and I show them the phone and what's been happening. They said it looks like water damage. Well, the last time I brought it in, I told them about the screen. It looked like it had a bend in it, and they said that looks like damage, and they looked at it, wasn't damaged, and I said, you guys were supposed to give me a new phone, but you gave me a remanufactured phone. Then I am told that that's how the warranty works on the phone, which I thought was ridiculous. I told them, I said, well, the Verizon store is going to give me a brand new phone. Can you guys give me a brand new phone? And basically at this point, I'm just wanting to see what they're going to do for me, because if they're not going to take care of me the way that I felt I should be taken care of, I was going to leave. And they said, well, unfortunately, that's not how their warranty policy works. I've spent almost 2 days in this process of not being able to hardly use my phone. I mean, it would make a phone call, I guess, which is what the phone's for. But the second big thing, which was text messages, was having issues. I could not iMessage people that had iPhones, which is not a big deal. I was living with it. I wasn't so much frustrated with that as I was the lag and it just not wanting to work. And I couldn't open apps and do things like that. Which is, again, a lot of people may see this video and go, oh, well, first world problems, but that's what we pay for on these devices, is we pay for these phones to do a lot of stuff. We pay for these phones to be smartphones. On top of that, a lot of people now in the business world, and me especially because I was a salesperson at the time, rely on that technology to do your job. So I've spent a day back and forth with these people, or go home, wake up the next day, and on my lunch break, go over to the Verizon store. They gave me a brand new phone. They went to the back, they got a phone, they bring it out, it's brand new. They open up the box, they sync it all up for me. They put a new SIM card in because they said maybe your SIM card's messing it up, we don't know. They put a new SIM card in, did all that stuff, gave me the phone. And for 2 months, woo, fantastic. Phone worked perfectly. And then the same thing happened again. I went about 9.5 months, 10 months on the 6S Plus and decided that it was time to let that girl go. I just wanted something different. I had been with iPhone so long, I just wanted something different. What I decided to go with, against all the reviewers out there, was I got a Motorola Z Force. That phone was fantastic. I didn't have any problems with it at all, zero. It was really, really a good phone. There was no problems with it whatsoever. And to this day, I claim it's the best phone I ever had. Everything about it was great. It worked great. The way that Moto interacts with the Android operating system is fantastic. And I have nothing but praise for that phone. The camera took very good photos, and a lot of people say that that camera doesn't take good photos. And it almost, I see the photos that they put up that this phone takes, and everyone says they're being honest. In all actuality, I've used that phone and I've taken very good pictures with it. I recommend those Force line of phones. If you're looking for a cheap, inexpensive Android, the mods are cool. They're really inexpensive to buy now because some people bought them and didn't like them and moved on. So there's that. It's time for an upgrade. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I had a spare Moto Z2 Play just for in case purposes. And then I had the Z2 and both were ready for an upgrade. So I said, I'm gonna go with the best of both worlds. So I went with the S10. It seemed like it had everything I wanted in an Android phone. The iPhones, I couldn't justify the price of an iPhone XS or a XS Max. I held a XS Max and it feels like I'm trying to hold an iPad in my hand. It's just massive. Being able to reach across the screen and everything was definitely a two-handed phone, and sometimes I don't always have dedicated two hands to give to a phone. That being said, I knew I was going to get the XR. I almost got just a regular 10, last year's 10. Because it had the dual cameras, and I had to do a lot of research to see if that was even worth me having. Decided no, the A12 chip was much better to have. I had to start doing things that annoyed me again, which was setting up an iPhone. Dear Lord, that's a very frustrating thing to do. Luckily, Android and iOS now have ways that you can adapt. But that being said, everything gets set up. I've rocked this phone for 2 weeks, and it's not a bad phone. I can tell you this, the Face ID, like right now, I have really good lighting on me, and not wanting to unlock. I've noticed that, and maybe it's just this XR, but the screen doesn't seem as responsive as the Android on that side. A lot of people talk about the screen, so I guess that's kind of the biggest. Everyone said that was the biggest letdown of this phone. Was they talk about the screen not being what the 10, the XS, the XS Max. It's not as good as those. The screen is great, actually. I can't really complain about it. I haven't noticed. You know, I do a lot of videos and pictures and things like that, and screen quality is really, really good. The colors are not so loud. And a lot of people I know like the deeper blacks and the richness of all these phones and TVs and everything nowadays, but this seems like a more natural feel. Oh, it comes with that kind of orange, whatever they call that. Oh, the night shift, yeah, where it kind of takes out some of the blues and everything. Looks like trash. Sorry, Apple, just does. I have it on other phones and it works a lot better than on there, so it's trash here. And maybe it's the screen. Maybe again, it's another screen thing, but I don't think so. But the screen is really good. And I don't know if this has to do with the type of screen it is or the panel that it is, but I have noticed if I am trying to click something that's up here in what they call the ears, it's not as responsive. I showed a friend of mine the other day that has a XS, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of have that problem too." Face ID worked that time. So it's all relative. I mean, I've tried on multiple phones, and it's just. What I can tell you that is the most frustrating about this iOS system now is the gestures. Probably the most frustrating thing, and I've seen it not just from me, because a lot of people are gonna say, "Well, you're used to Android." Maybe, but I have other friends who have been iPhone users for a long time, just like I have. They had the 4 all the way up, and I had a friend of mine who had an 8, and she upgraded to this, the XR, and she says the same thing. No button, and getting in and out of apps and trying to navigate this whole, you got to push up and pull over. It works. It works most of the time. And I've noticed the more apps I have open and available, and especially if I'm using one that, like the Notes app, where you just type, and I'm typing and I need to pull it over and look at the other ones, sometimes it doesn't work. It's almost like, oh, you've got too many open, I don't want to go over there with them, you need to close me out or something. There's enough screen real estate here to put navigation buttons. But there's plenty of screen real estate here that, for instance, right here, in this bar at the top, in between where the ears and the notifications are, in between there, there's a small area there. My suggestion would be, and there's some down here too, which I know you've got those 3 little dots, so that would be very crowded, but why not move those dots up there, and then in between these home buttons here, you have a back, a home, and a multi-screen. Better than the thumb workout that Apple has me do. And I do. I keep lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of apps open at one time. So why buy the phone? Those are probably my biggest qualms about it. Call quality, a lot of people say it's very clear and very good. Between the two phones, most of the time people hear me better on the Samsung. The camera. Let's talk about camera quality. When you walk around with two of the most popular phones on the market, you hear a lot about cameras, and a lot of people talk about cameras. And of course, we know that the iPhone takes really, really good pictures, video. A lot of people told me that the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL was the best camera out there. Nope. I don't know if in video reviews, if people are just trying to root for Pixel, so it hangs in there. It takes great photos, don't get me wrong. And I know Pixel haters are gonna come out of the woodwork, but Pixel supporters are gonna come out of the woodwork and hate on me, but just real world life shooting, if you're gonna just pick a phone up and open it and take a photo, the Pixel did not like to do that. One, I would say the Pixel has the best selfie camera. That, hands down, we'll give them that. Apple selfie camera, supposed to be really good, really terrible. It's just really, really terrible. Like I didn't install Snapchat on this phone because the quality was the same as my Z2 Force. It's okay, but it's not fantastic. It's clear, but it's that beauty effect that they try to put on there. It's not good. On the iPhone, the coloring is just, it's still not accurate. I'll say that. That's what I'll say, is it's still not 100% accurate. It's almost like they put that beauty effect in as part of their entire system. Like they're trying to figure out what makes people look better. So this is a picture that I took on the iPhone, and I'll upload that so you can see it in the thing. And it's okay. The colors are just, they're too washed. It's too washed. It's too blue. And then here's another one that I took in a landscape mode. That one's in the portrait mode. Again, it's sharp, it's crisp, it's detailed, but it's not. It's very blue. So we went from orange to blue. So it's like their color and their saturation just can't figure it out. It's just not as good as everyone claims it is. Sorry. It's just a true review. It's good to hold in the hand. It feels real solid. I notice I don't pinky hold this phone. I have to actually wrap my hand around it and hold it. The problem with that is, this is your power button. It is in a good spot. These are your volume buttons, and they're reachable if you have big hands. The problem I have is when I hold this is the power button. So if I'm on a phone call, and naturally you do, you hold the phone like this when you talk and you're not on that power button. But there are times I've noticed where I make a phone call and I'm holding it where I normally hold the phone and I hang up on someone. I think that they need to swap the sides. And everybody puts volume on the left and power on the right for some reason. I don't get it. Because I'd rather lower, this is easier to lower my volume than this. Look at this awkward hand position here. Or I guess that's what they're wanting us to do. They're wanting us to get to this point of two-handed everything. So those are kind of my qualms about it. Everything opens up really, really fast and really smooth. Again, the gestures are probably the biggest complaint. Is you have space. Just do it. Just do it. I know you don't want to be like Android, but you're ignoring your user because that's not a fluid system. Those are my 3 big complaints. Other than that, the phone's great. The battery life is very good. But the battery life is not as good as my Samsung. I know I keep comparing the two, but that's the 2 phones I use on a regular basis. I genuinely use this phone less This is very fluid, but the problem that I have is with that fluidity comes a drawback. So let's go to Google here. I've done a Google search and I get to the bottom of the page. This isn't a very long page, but the problem is if I want to go back to the top, there is no back to the top button. You're on Craigslist, just whatever. You're scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. To get back to the top, the scrolling is not fast. It's not as fast as, but it's fluid. It is fluid. It looks nice. It's not. But if I want to get to the top really fast, I can't go. I can't just spin it real fast and the phone pick it up and move it as fast as I go. Also changing the screens. See, all the gestures they're just wonky. Pull this down for notifications. You have to do it in the middle. I can't get it to go away. I have to swipe all the way from the bottom. These gestures are wonky. They are, and this phone is up to date. This is not some out of date. I got this 2 weeks ago and I've done all the updates on it. It's up to date. The gestures are just wonky. I mean, I come over here to get my panel to adjust my controls, and I come over here to pull down for notifications. Where is, okay, so this is notifications, edge, still notifications, corner. So you have to go all the way to that corner for that. And I guess you get used to it. It was very, very nice to get this phone and not have used it for 5 years and pick it up and jump in and be able to use it on the go. Had to learn a few little things, had to figure the gestures out. Those gestures are they're not there. That feels like a software program that was pushed out too soon, too early, because we had to play catch up with the rest of the market about no buttons, no chins, full screen. Another thing about the fluidity, yes, that looks really nice going back and forth, but takes a minute. That is kind of my review of the phone. I think it's a great phone. If you're an iPhone user, I don't know that I would go above this, especially if you're coming from, if you've got an iPhone 7 or an 8 and you're looking to upgrade and you just save your money and get this. I think the next iPhone that comes out, the 11, I think is going to be very, very nice. I think it's going to revolutionize iPhone. We've already seen some renders of the camera. I would prefer iPhone not do 3 cameras, but it looks like they're going to do 3 cameras. I think they should do 3 cameras, 1 sensor, and a flash, and have a big square right there, and I think that would be cool. I really think they should move it to the middle if it's going to be very big like that. But, some people are doing a line, some people are doing a line. Apple's going to do a square. I think they're great phones. I think the biometrics in it that they have that read your face and the unlock is safe. I think that's good. I do know this, and we'll see, Apple is known for having a phone that lasts a really long time. So hopefully I can have this phone for many, many years to come and not have to get a new iPhone. Probably the best part about Apple where they beat Android is the apps. I have one app called Quick, and it is a app from GoPro. And I notice a huge difference in the quality and what that app can do versus what on iPhone versus what it can do on Android. Their apps are probably what make this phone most desirable. If you are a person who uses a lot of apps and you want something that has very good, fantastic apps, that's what you buy this phone for. And that's what I bought it for. You don't buy it for the screen. To me, you buy an iPhone for the apps. You can tell this is where apps start to be developed and where they come to first before they push them over. So here's my recommendation on the iPhone. If you want the best screen, this is not it. If you want the best camera, this is not it. If you want the best point and shoot camera, the one you just pick up, point and shoot, this is not it. If you want the best selfie camera, the one that takes the best selfies, this is not it. If you want the easiest to use out of the box phone, this is not it. If you want the fastest feeling phone, you want your phone just to blaze through and be fast, and you just click and open everything you want to and just boom, 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 no questions asked, this is not it. If you want the phone that has the best app store and you want your apps to interact like they would on a desktop or on a tablet, and you want in your social media heavy, your app heavy, this is the phone for you. Now I would suggest the 10R and up, 10R, 10S, 10S Max, because they have the A12 chip in it, and this chip is a beast. It's going to be really hard for Apple to make a 13, make a better chip than this to be exponentially better than this. This will handle a very heavy workload. That, my friends, is my story of life with an iPhone, where I've come from, what I think about it, what it's been like living with this phone for 2 weeks. It's definitely well worth the money that you pay for this. Easy to hold in the hand, great app store. Everything else is okay to decent. You want the best apps in the business, you gotta get an iPhone. Thanks so much, guys. Hope this wasn't too long of a video. What do you think about the mobile setup? Is it good? Is it bad? Audio good? Quality good? Whatever? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and we will see you next time.